Hello and good day to all participants. Thank you very much for watching this channel. My name is Muhammad Fadil Madin. I'm uh, actually the coordinator of this project named as Nurture Future Green Leaders, or the short name as a TUNE, funded by Erasmus program of the Union European. So I'm from UTM. So we do have another nine partners, especially from Malaysia, USM, UITM, and then another partners from Vietnam, from NIEP, from HUS, also from Indonesia, Undip, and also Unhas, all together with our EU partners from University Porto, Vilnius Tech, and FSJ Joannem. So this is exactly our recent project that we developed together and co-working under we call it as a green competencies at ASEAN's educational institution. So why it is matters for us to propose and introduce, I will show it later on. But the most important thing is why Tune is being developed at the beginning. So this a portion of green job. So as I relates to the green competencies, because it is a demand, it's a kind of hot topic when we are searching throughout to the platform, and there's some other policies and framework being developed and also now established at certain institutional level platform in order to propose and grooming the new students, the new young talents in the green skills that supposedly we define it as a sustainability talent group. Anyway, why we are putting the green text and also the skill competencies, because it is a kind of application of the knowledge throughout to the selected industry. So I will tell you more about what and exactly how this green talents, green skill and competency will define the new world, especially at the 21st century in the green job. If you look towards to the level of uh, part of the full about the job postings, you will see that the green skill is demanding by many players, especially those in the certain sectors need a transformations from maybe labor intensive towards to the machinery, towards to part of the automation, for example, or there is some kind of green skill needs that to be developed within the new knowledge, especially to transform the conventional processes towards to some of the recovery and recycling, or to empower towards to the planetary health, for example. So this is a kind of why this project important for us to propose. And because of that, our projects definitely is designed by the three objectives. And of course, the first is about the education itself. It means that we need to equip our institution with a proper module development or syllabus that can be developed all together with what the existing courses, and that will be promoting also careers in higher education. The second objective is, of course, the curriculum itself, to build some kind of the training processes, not only for the student, but also the educators that exactly need to be designed in a proper way. Like, for example, maybe to fulfill the requirement of the accreditations, or to fulfill the mandates by certain roadmaps and future plan, especially inclusively in a sustainable manners. So this is the second objective that we are going to update in the green job education. And third and final of the project, of course, after we develop, after we transform, and after we propose this kind of modification in our curriculum, this need to be understandable by our stakeholders, the external stakeholders, especially those need the young talents, the graduates that produce out there must be fulfill the requirement for the green job employment. And the workforce is actually to increase the level of competencies that need by that certain sectors. So this is something we propose for the green job and this project, and we would like to expand it further and make sure that those partners who actually associate with us would believe that the elements of understanding between the academia and the industry demand have to merge by now in order to make sure that the skill and competency is meeting the standards by the industry. So this is what we are planning for. And because of that, as I said earlier, we also partners with several institutions, especially in ASEAN. As I said, two in Vietnam, two in Indonesia. So this is all the universities that associated with us, and we've been cascading this particular course development according to the sectors that been designed or been developed by our National Green Tech Climate Change Corporation (MGTC). And by these definitions of those things, the most and covering almost all the sectors is the artificial intelligence. Why? Because it's classified to make sure that it can propose such of a very important cloud systems, automation systems, machinery learning algorithm within all another sectors. Okay, so that will be our focus towards to the green job topics that will be developed by our partners, and we are in the midst of preparations of the TOT and also the modules. These modules is important, especially would be the best platform for other researchers and educators who actually need to improve their curriculums, to improve the demands by the sectors, as well as to self-equip the educators in certain skills that need to be done or to be developed within the green job topics. So, because of that, we are participating in the different work packages. If you look over this medium, we do have a kind of management until the dissemination and sustainability. But the most important things by now, if you look towards to this mid terms of our planning, for example, in order to develop the trainings, we need to make a kind of what we call that module developments, especially in maybe elective courses or maybe some other new platform for the educations. So we need to analyze what exactly the gaps between the skill, competencies, and also understanding, because maybe people really not understand properly, especially when we are talking about the sustainability, greens, as well as environmental elements, right? Because this kind of things is connecting each other. It's not dominating by others. For example, if we are talking about the sustainability, it's about how you keep consistently fostering that kind of element, as well as to meet a kind of ultimate goal for environmental indicators, for example. That's a sustainability. But in towards the green job, for example, it's also related to any kind of jobs on land. It means that on earth, for example, if you are talking about the ocean, for example, we call it as a blue job, for example, or blue economy. So green and blue exactly why we are targeting as green job first, because that's actually the domination of the job employment sectors that should be equipped towards to our student development. So that's why that's the reason why WP2 is about to analyze throughout the current practices for ASEAN higher education. So as well as we also need to learn from European partners, right? So that's the WP2. Then when we are having those kind of analysis all together, we need to do a capacity building and of course the cost development, WP3 and WP4. Why these two things is demanding towards to this kind of anchoring processes in our tune project, because we need to make sure a kind of training portfolios, the talents that we would like to train further must have some replications or duplication for that part of knowledge. And this is also maybe some of the brainstorming, and we are thanks to our EU partners who are actually proposing a green prompt framework that exactly need by ASEAN's members to adapt or maybe try to modulate or maybe to a certain part of reinvent those kind of modules. Then we go for the cost development in order for us to create a platform, a proper platform for other universities. It's not only UTM, but also other university in ASEAN, especially in Malaysia, ASEAN, Vietnam, and also Indonesia. So because we are actually developed all together the seven green job sectors. So afterwards, of course, we need to ensure those activities, those promotions, those what we call that visibilities to others must be performed towards to creating a one-stop center for the green job. Especially each university they have their own or uniqueness of setup as in order to make sure that this green job can be sustained in future. So that's a kind of conducting series of campaigns, part of the awareness program and events. Of course, we develop Facebook. We also have TikToks. The TikToks actually focuses on the new generation who actually need a short videos to understand shortly. And also we have some LinkedIn platform in order to have a professional dissemination and visibility. And all these things will be developed with our partners, not only in Malaysia but also in other ASEAN country, especially from the industry, and maybe after this from some of the organization, government officers, as well as the NGO, because we need to make some expansions about the accessibility of the dialogues with the local and national stakeholders with a kind of community services or maybe some internship program or kind of demo sessions, exhibitions that will be gather all the stakeholders in order to conduct such of the supply demand ecosystem. For example, like the university should be as a supplementary for that kind of modules and course development, but the demand will be by the sectors that I've been listed just now. So this is something we propose for Tune project. Okay. And you can see here, this is the list of the partners with the country being associated and their rules and what exactly the person who in charge for this particular field. So I do hope that you can find from our website. This is also very good for us to increase further on the acknowledgement, some appreciation to our non-associate partner. For example, like from the MGTC Malaysia, Talent Corp Malaysia, and also the Construction Research Institute of Malaysia, CRIM, under the CIDB in Malaysia. But soon after this, we also would like to expand this kind of association, this consortium partnership with Indonesia and Vietnam. Of course, this is something we can develop further throughout to the process. But of course, we would like to appreciate our new partners from EU members from AECEF. So this been introduced by Alfredo, and thank you very much for that particular information that would be benefit for us, especially this association has already have a series of networks and conferences regarding the sustainability and green competencies. So I do hope that this will bring more benefits in future. And if you look to our structure, the modules, the what we call that quality of the management, because we are targeting different part of the strategies, different allocations of the budget. Of course, with thanks to Erasmus CBHE 2024, we actually I can call it as a seed funding for us to establish to our institutions, but it's not ending by only establishing, but also to continue serving towards to other stakeholders, especially in Indonesia and Vietnam. So in order to do that one, so we are planning to have a series of strategies to carry out for the purpose of increase the impacts and make sure that the tune being adapted in certain portfolios, module development, syllabus modifications throughout the communication channels, or maybe to supply to our internal and external stakeholders, especially our students itself, our educators, the staff, administrators, and maybe some of the researchers who actually having such of the important innovations and creativity for that particular green job. So this is our first strategy dissemination. Of of course, in order to do this one, we're targeting right now at the level of institution. You can see here, this is our level by now. So we are trying to do and develop the one-stop center. But of course, we are targeting about the consortium level here. So the consortium level means that we are being binding all together with all the ASEAN partners and also the non-partners from the industry and NGO that I mentioned just now. And we can leverage the things to be as the regional hub, for example, like international level, or maybe we can do such of the national level in order to serve the people, to serve the stakeholders, especially the demand for maybe modules development, right? Or maybe they need someone who actually expert with certain field. So this is the green jobs thinking and trying to do the process in line or in the pipeline. So this is part of conventional methods that we are developing, but it's not only limited to this purpose. Like for example, we are having a printed versions of the brochures, those buntings, banners, whatever it is, towards to our leaflets, posters, the videos. So that what I'm now created for the videos only a part of the conventional things. But in order to further disseminate and to influence, to make the other persons do engage with us is actually on the campaign and also the social media presence. For example, we are actually actively put our events, our newsletters, our maybe such of the activities, like for example the TOT, for example, we put it in the social media, like in the Facebook, TikTok, and maybe perhaps after this is LinkedIn. It's a professional platform. And last but not least is about the exhibition and conferences. So this exhibition and conferences, we already tagline with the another industry that been associated with, like for example, Talent Corp. So in Malaysia, we have a one organization who actually manage the talent profile for all the youngs, what we call that, and graduates from university, polytechnics, and other higher education. So this is the best platform for them to be incurred, to be aligned with the Malaysian Green Tech definition on the green sectors. Then we can propose and promote them towards to the platform. We call it as My Mahe. So that's the kind of legacy that we would like to do and implement engagement toward to other sustainability framework. So this is what we are targeting on the disseminations and activities with the objective. We would like to make more outreach project. For example, we proposing a roundtable, the exhibition as I mentioned just now, as well as we do update our project website. So the project website is created by our partners from Vietnam, NIEC, and we put certain elements on. For example, if you want to know further about the Tune project, so you can go there and look to the sub module of the FAQ, frequent asked questions. You can find it easily from there, and you will also find out our expertise, who actually our leaders, who actually our main drivers and catalysts for this kind of Erasmus project. So this is what we are going to do, and this is to be developed all together. So we do hope that you can come with us, because this is also a kind of creation on the long-term partnership. So we also not limiting this kind of agenda to higher education, but also we can go with the policymakers like the government sectors. So this is another aspect that we are going to consider with the targeted group. Of course, as I mentioned, the general targeted groups, the government, the industry, the NGO, the social, the media, and public interest in the green job. And of course, in Malaysia by now, it is actually a demanding by the public interest in the green job, and maybe the private sectors who actually develop the new segments of the green skill and green training, for example. So you have to remember that there are out there a few of the maybe hundred of program related on the training of the greens, and they also provide a kind of certifications like certified persons. So this is something very similar to what we are developed, because we will also targeting a training provider who can also certify for certain sectors, certain competencies that actually will benefit to the participants, not only to the student, right? So you have to remember at this plan, at this platform, we targeting first for education, academia. But after this, we also targeting our professional bodies, maybe some of the trainers that actually been certified. So we can combine this kind of methods. So without hesitate that I can say this green job will be more expanding in future related towards to the collaborations, right? And then this is you can find from our website who actually our key partners, key associate partners or non-associate partners. You can find it easily from there. You can find why they are very important in order to develop these modules, these trainings, these one-stop center, whatever it is. So this is a must. This is a kind of complementary each other. Okay. And of course, the strategy on the disseminations, as mentioned before this, on the targeted group, and who actually and why industry players is being embedded at this level. Because in each university, you will provide internship program, right, or industrial trainings for maybe 3 months or 6 months. So we are targeting that by this kind of program we can send our selected student to selected sectors that need the green competencies. So this is our demand and this is our planning and vision. Because after we send them towards to that particular sectors, they've been trained because they've been trained in education level, right? So they are getting those kind of modules. We train them as educators, as academia. We train our students. But after that, the student will go for industry training or internship program. So they will utilize their knowledge that what we've been trained to them and try to make sure that whether the industry is set or not. So this mutual collaboration is benefits not only to higher education but also to that particular private sectors towards to that sectors in a green job, for example. So this is what we need. That's why we are proposing feedbacks and reflections demands by the industry. So after all, we can also make more rules in terms of, for example, as I said just now on the policymakers, and like maybe facilitating about the collaboration on the workforce development. That just now we having a collaboration with Talent Corp, for example. So provide a kind of workforce profile for our graduates in Malaysia, for example, and then of course to propose a kind of accreditation. What's the best accreditation? In Tune project, by now, we propose to be as a micro credential. So micro credential has a platform in order to not certify, it's something to evaluate, to assess whether that module is towards to that kind of quality. So this is something very good because at Malaysian level, at the existing condition, we have at least two university been qualified for that particular standard development for the micro, or not standard development, means that they can assess and they can evaluate those kind of quality of the micro credential program. So thank you very much to our partners because we all already engage with them and will be embedded later on in our framework. And of course, with the media, with communication channels, it's also important for our students, especially our students usually will use the LinkedIn. So we put the LinkedIn some announcements, some advertisements related on the tune, and you will see that there's some kind of online career platform will be available, as well as like what the MGTC is doing by now to more disseminate those kind of job huntings or job seekers, for example, but maybe they are mixed altogether. So because of this, we are proposed that the media and public communication channel will be the best at the one-stop center that will be established at each university. Just now I already mentioned three from Malaysia, two from Indonesia, and two from Vietnam. So this is what we are targeting in the future. And there are some other links and why it's a matters of the communication. You will see that in terms of the consortiums, in terms of the hubs that we want to create. This is numbers and indicators to ensure this project effectively can serve the stakeholders and how and why this will be benefits towards to our targets group. So please bear in mind, please do access our website. You will find more details about this. And of course, before we end of our session just now, it's already 25 minutes. Maybe what you can see, there's some kind of activity being associated. We start out with the kickoff, and then we will do a series of campaigns, roundtable discussion with the networking sessions all together, as well as maybe in next year we will have a national and international workshop and conferences to deliver those kind of analysis, to do some networking sessions, and of course to prepare any feedbacks of reflection from our external stakeholders. That's we are going to do in the next few years, okay, from this year until 2027. And this is the output that we are targeting for, like the actions for the events. But this is more towards to our internal elements. Definitely, this will be good. So, in order to work more details about these aspects, we'll also propose several other members that not been associated at the beginning for the Tune project. So you can see that this is the non-partner utilities that's already been recognized based on our partners. Like for example, from UTM, we do have some UTHM, utility promotion on. Maybe we also have some partners from Unimas. This is our best platform, especially on the sustainability office or sustainability center, these two university. Another one is USM. They also have their own maybe very connected, very neighborhoods university. For example, like Unimed, UUM, because USM is in northern part of Malaysia. So that's the reason why they having proposing this kind of higher education. Undip, Who's, Unhas, UITM, and also NIAC, they also have their own future targets, who actually they will engage more details and more communicate. So this is what we are targeting, especially to ensure that the government bodies, the industry employees, they know how we can create, how we can develop, and what the level that we should modify, we should be transform it. So this is what we are proposed in our Tune project. And for your information, and as a early information to all of you, this is the numbers of respondents that been disseminated throughout to our surveys, to our outcomes. So you will see that about maybe more than 1,000 respondents been what we call that proposed, and we already gathered their and collected the information from this kind of so I thanks to all members, to partners who actually managed to have these numbers of respondents. So by this kind of number, we analyze, and hopefully we can provide such of other videos related on what exactly the gaps, what exactly the analysis on the green education and green job. So with that, I would like to thank everyone for listening, and hopefully we can have more information later on in our website. Please stay tuned in our Facebook and website. Thank you very much. Again, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.